Hello everyone, my name is Ahmad Nasrullah and I'm honored to present to you today. Today we are going to look closely at a topic that traditionally causes quite a bit of anxiety in the primary school, which is fractions. Specifically, we will be examining a lesson designed for year 4 students that focuses on solving mixed operation involving the addition and subtraction of fractions. As educators, we know that when students first encounter fractions, they often see them as abstract numbers that don't quite behave like the whole numbers they are used to. To bridge this gap, I have designed a lesson centered around a highly relatable, involving real-world scenario, which is a school pizza party. By embedding the mathematics within a narrative, we transform a static calculation exercise into a meaningful problem-solving experience. Over the next 30 minutes, I will walk you through the pedagogical choices behind this lesson and demonstrate how we can use computational thinking principles to guide year 4 students toward true mathematical mastery. So, Before we dive into the before we dive into the narrative, let's establish the core learning objectives that encode this lesson. By the end of this session, the student should be able to achieve four specific goals. First of all, they must identify how to solve mixed operation of addition and subtraction, because this is the procedure foundation uh, of the lesson. Second, they need to analyze the problem, which includes working with both fractions of objects and whole numbers simultaneously. We are moving them away from isolated fraction trees and into composite numerical thinking. Third one, they must apply these fraction concepts to a real-life situation. This is very crucial because mathematics cannot just live on the whiteboard. Instead, it must translate to the physical world also. Why are these objectives so important? Because our goal is not just to teach students how to find a common denominator, but also to teach them why that denominator matters when they are sharing a meal with their friends. We want to develop thinkers, not just calculators. So, to hook the students' attention, I begin the lesson with a story. I call it the picnic day scenario. Imagine you walking into a year 4 classroom and setting the scene. The year 4's picnic was off to a busy start. The school kitchen delivered 5 giant pizzas and one extra slice, with each pizza already cut into 8 equal slices. Just as the students began to worry there would not be enough, a delivery rider arrived with another 2 whole pizzas and 6 more slices to add to the table. However, the feast was briefly interrupted when the school prefects were invited to have a snack attack, and they ended up eating 1 whole pizza and 5 of the slices. Looking at the remaining boxes, the teachers decided to take exactly half of all the remaining slices back to the office to share. To solve this mystery, you must figure out exactly how many individual slices the teachers carried away, and how many whole pizzas were finally left for the year 4 students to enjoy. So, at this point, I present uh, the student with their mission. So, to solve this mystery, you must figure out exactly how many individual slices the teachers carried away, and how many whole pizza were finally left for the year 4 students to enjoy. That is what we have done here. We have presented a known routine mathematical problems, which is the students are identifying the problems and solving it using the visual models of pizza instead of jumping straight to basic calculation. So now, if you hand this entire paragraph to a 9-year-old, they will likely feel overwhelmed. This is where we introduce our first major pedagogical tools, which is decomposition. What is decomposition is? Decomposition is a heuristic process that breaks down a complex, multi-layered problem into smaller and independent subproblems. Instead of trying to solve this complex earphone story all at once, we teach the students to use decomposition to create a mental map and solve a sequence of smaller microtasks. Here, we want the students to demonstrate mastery by recognizing that this pizza problem is actually a chronological data stream. We guide them to decompose the massive paragraph into three distinct time blocks. So here I have this divided into three parts, which is part 1, part 2, and part 3. Let's move to the part 1, which is the input. This is an addition problem where we combine our starting stock from the kitchen with the late delivery. So the part 2 is the reduction. So this requires subtraction. We isolate the specific slash attack event where the prefects take their share. Part 3 is the distribution, where this involves division. We calculate the final share for the teachers. So by breaking this lesson down this way, we drastically reduce the students' cognitive load. We are not just teaching them fraction, but we also teaching them the pillars of computational thinking, how, which is how to systematically approach any complex problem they face. So, so let's take a look at this slide, which is we uh, count the total pizza that have been prepared from the kitchen, which is there are 5 whole pizzas and 1 extra slice. And then there are 2 whole pizza and 6 slices uh, of 8 pizza, which is has been delivered at the last minute. If you notice the notes below here, uh, we can identify non-routine mathematical problems where the students solve the problem using pizza instead of the basic calculation. This is not a worksheet where the operation is explicitly stated at the top of the page. The student must deduce which operation to use based on the verb in the story. So they uh, identify words like arrive, eating, and share to use the suitable operation. So they must navigate a real-world context where answers are not just numbers, but also physical objects. So here we just uh, use the addition properties. So we just use the addition operation where the students combine the the initial 5 1/8 pizzas and just add the 2 6/8 delivered pizzas. So because of our pattern recognition, the students easily add the whole numbers to get 7 and the numerators to get 7, giving us total of 7 7/8 pizzas. So As the students work through these decomposed steps, we are actively cultivating three high-level mathematical thinking skills. First, pattern recognition. So, as the students look at the numbers like 5 1 over 8, 2 6 over 8, and 7 7 over 8, we prompt them to notice a consistent pattern. The denominator is always 8 because its pizza has 8 slices. So, recognizing this pattern is crucial because it's standardized their data and assuring them that they do not need to hunt for common denominators. So, because the pieces are already the same size. So, so we have discussed about the pattern recognition, which is the second pillar of computational thinking skills. So, what is actually pattern recognition is? Pattern recognition is the identification of mathematical uh, invariants, which is rules that remain constant despite different variable to simplify complex data processing. So uh, they recognize the recurring patterns that one whole pizza is equals to 8 over 8. This is a crucial heuristic for regrouping when the subtraction requires more slices than currently available. So by identifying the denominator of 8 early on, so the students establish a fixed mathematical anchor. This ensures that throughout all phases of decomposition, the scale of the units remains uniform and comparable. So this part, we actually use the subtraction operation, which is where the prefects join the party and takes 1/5 over 8 of pizzas. So from the total of pizza, which is 7 7 over 7s, we minus with 1/5 over 8 that have which is the total of pizza that have been taken by the prefects. So the total remain of pizza is 6 2 over 8. So uh, if you notice that there are another one computational thinking skills involved in this problem, which is abstraction. What is abstraction means? Abstraction is the process of filtering out irrelevant characteristic of a problem to focus on the core variables and logical operations that lead to a solution. In standard textbook exercises, we constantly drill students to write fraction in their simplest form. But here, the students demonstrate a high-level heuristic by deciding not to simplify. This is a strategic focus where they calculate over simplify. By disregarding the rule of simplest form, the students keep all data in eights. This brilliant use of abstraction allows them to perform addition and subtraction fluently without having to unsimplify a letter to match the physical pizza slices. So, finally, the distribution. Here, the teachers take half of the remaining slices. This is where the physical context is vital. We have 6 2 over 8 pizzas. To find half of the pizza, the student must convert the mixed number back into individual slices. They know 6 whole pizzas with 8 slices pizza. So there are 48 pizzas. There are 48 slices of pizza, plus the extra two slices of the from the fraction give us a total of 50 remaining slices. The teachers take exactly half, so half of 50 is 25. Therefore, the teachers take 25 slices to the office. These leave exactly 25 slices for the year 4 students to enjoy. And last but not least, evaluation. The lesson does not end with the number 25. We must guide the students through the final, which is the crucial step, evaluation. Evaluation is the metacognitive process used to verify that uh, the mathematical output actually satisfies the constraint um, and objective of the original problems. It involves checking the logical fit of the answer, especially against the specific uniques requested. In our final evaluation, the students must recognize that providing a single format number is insufficient. They must apply the heuristic of specificity. Look back at the mission constraint. So, if we look back uh, to the slide, to the previous slide here, so we have uh, state that how many individual slides did the teachers take to the office, which means we have to count uh, indi- individually slice of pizza. So back to the slide. Um, back to the slide here. So requirement A asks for the teacher share to be expressed as individual slides, which are discrete in it. So 25 slices is the correct formulation for the teachers. However, requirement B asks for the year 4 students share to be expressed as whole pizzas and extra slices. So, which means these are composite units. So the students must take their 25 slices and convert them back. Since 24 slices make 3 whole pizzas, so the final answer for the students is 3 1 over 8 pizzas. So this evaluation phase ensures that the students are deeply reading the prompt and respecting the physical reality of the units involved. So here we have divided the students, the pizza for the students and for the teachers. So as educators, we must reflect on why a lesson like this is far more effective than traditional rote learning. By grounding this in a highly relatable scenario, we remove the intimidation factor of mixed fractions. But more importantly, we integrated robust problem-solving frameworks directly into primary education. We didn't just tell your four students to add these numbers, but we taught them decomposition to manage their cognitive load. We taught them uh, abstraction to strategize their calculation efficiently. We taught them evaluation to ensure their answers made sense in the real world. These are the foundations. These are the foundational skills of computational thinking. When we teach a 9-year-old to break apart of pizza problems, we are wiring their brains to one day break apart complex coding algorithm. engineering schematics, or logistical supplies change. We are also teaching them how to think, structures, and verify. So, in conclusion, the fraction problem is much more than a story about a picnic. It's a carefully engineered pedagogical tool. It takes the specific objective of adding and subtracting mixed numbers and elevates them through the application of decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, and rigorous evaluation. By designing lessons that challenge students to navigate non-routine, real-world constraints, we ensure that uh, their mathematical learning is not only retained but deeply understood. We also equip them with the analytical tools they need to succeed both inside the classroom and beyond. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for your time and attention today. I would be happy to answer any question you might have regarding the pedagogical frameworks or mathematical processes demonstrated in this lesson. Thank you so much and goodbye.